Yes, everybody. My name's Stephen Howson. That's Joe Smith.
Hi.
That's Adam McKola. This is the Paddock Pod, and that's me.
Devil's Pod. Innit?
Paddock Podcast.
Devil's Podcast. Devil's Pod. We agreed on this when we came together.
Paddock Podcast.
When we came together like this,
didn't.
and like this,
the Paddock Pod.
and like this.
Shut your mouth.
And like this. We said it was going to be called the
What's
Devil's
go on in
Podcast.
here with my wire?
And what happened to my invite yesterday, lads?
You were invited.
No, I wasn't.
I was. Do you remember where I know where I was standing? You were sitting in the seat you always sit in, and I was standing up at the edge of the desk. Said, "Are you coming?" And he went, "I'm not coming here for that." Do you remember that? Do you remember that conversation?
I remember that conversation.
You know what's funny? Yeah, we obviously had that conversation. That conversation did happen for those at home that are worried. I was only joking about the invite, but it still doesn't stop. You know when you see your friends all together, and you're not there, it still doesn't stop that.
Why not there? I know I said it.
I know I didn't want
I
to
know
be
they
there,
said, "Can I?" Like, they asked me to come, and I said no.
but I want to
But I
be
feel
there.
really bad that I'm
For
not
anyone
there.
who doesn't know, sorry, we did a Super Bowl watch along on Steve's Twitch last
Oh,
night,
Glazer fan TV, aren't you?
which
You
is
two?
very good.
I mean, yeah.
I was rooting for the others.
Do you know what's
My
annoying?
homies and the
Do you
Chiefs.
know what's annoying about them? I know it's an American sports thing, but I actually felt my insides not up watching them lift a trophy.
I hate that. I hate that.
It did feel weird, didn't
Not just because they lifted it, but I just hate owners.
Why
doing
did they lift it anyway? What a
all the
weird
owners
thing.
do it in basketball and
I know it's gross though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Proper weird.
minging.
Yeah.
Like the storyline of yesterday was all Tom Brady's. I was educated because I don't know really a lot about NFL. Tom Brady's basically Ryan Giggs. Don't know if that means he's or whatever, but
top shagger.
Yep. But he's basically won the most titles of anybody. And it's like he got a gold trophy 3/4 of an hour after everyone else. And I was like, this should be about him. This isn't about, I don't even know who the manager is.
But if you've won 6 of them before, that was his 7th, right?
Yeah.
10th, wasn't it?
10th final.
All right.
He's
Super Bowl.
probably got his
7th
own
win.
trophy. So he's probably looking at them like, oh, bless. Look at him. It's
Yeah.
their first one. Do you know like that?
He's got a shed Super Bowl that he keeps in, like,
Yeah,
just
he's
to
probably
get,
got
gets
to
out
keep
for
one.
barbecues. I bet he's got 2. I bet he's got loads. I bet he got one after 3.
He doesn't
one
have to
after
worry
6.
about, like, if we played football, lucky to, and we won our first Champions League, he'd be like, oh, I need a picture with this, like this. I need a picture with it up there. I need a picture with my team.
Up there.
I need all these pictures.
One out
I need
front.
one for my Instagram.
Dick
I'm going
out
to take
one.
it to bed with me because I want
Yeah.
to do that thing that ever... Like, you'd be thinking through all those things. But if it's your 7th
Yeah.
one...
Like Cristiano
you'll
Ronaldo,
just
what
be
is
like,
it, 5 Champions Leagues.
all right, now I want to win 8.
I know, but, right, valid points. But it's not about them rats.
Yeah, it's not about, yeah, you're right there. I find it weird that the owners... I don't mind the owners being on the pitch, maybe presenting the trophy.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
maybe
Yeah, give it to the
shaking
team.
hands.
Yeah.
Hey, well done.
The
You,
team
well
won
done.
that trophy,
well
not
done.
the owners.
You, well done, lad. Well done.
Yeah.
I party on me tonight. Like, it's going to be off the chain. Yeah, no phones sort of party. Right. That's the kind of shit that I want an owner doing. I don't know them going, move, give me that.
Yeah, and I'll lift it first
Yeah,
of
no.
everyone. The team won that trophy.
Yeah.
Let the team lift
But
the
the
trophy.
weird thing is, in America, they proper embrace the owners, don't they?
Yeah.
So you see them
They
all
call it
hugging
the
them and
back-
jumping
the back
around.
room,
and
the front office and the back office and all that. Like, they have all... Like, they'll do a lot more interviews and they'll speak to the players a lot more. It's much more involved. But
Didn't they
even
give an
though-
interview last night?
Well, they interviewed him.
well,
just
they've never
as
given
they
an
gave him the
interview as
trophy.
United.
Correct. That's the point I was trying to make with that.
They
yeah.
gave him. They did a little
And
short.
do you know what's
interview,
mad is United and the Buccaneers, not only are they owned by the same people, they are the same company. Red Football Limited, I think, is what the company is called that owns both clubs. Mad. It's the same company.
How long
know that.
until... How much do you want to bet pre-season Brady, Maguire picture comes out or
Right, now,
something? Brady and Rashford link
listen,
up.
we're already booking tickets to Miami.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, I was having this conversation last night. We're going to Miami whether United are or not, right?
Correct.
But if travel, I mean, it was Florida. I mean, there was fucking fans in the stadium last night anyway, which is mad. But United are going to Miami because you've got the Bucks have just won that. You've got Beckham's just opened a team in there. It's all Adidas. It's all blah blah blah. There is no chance that if we do a trip, if we do a foreign trip for pre-season, we might as well just go to Miami. There is no way we're going anywhere else. If there's one place we can go, it'd be Florida or Miami.
Where's Tampa Bay, Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's in Florida.
Beat is on the beat to the break of dawn. Going to Miami.
Got to get myself some beige chinos and the most outrageous shirt you've ever seen in your life.
I'll lend you one.
And a hat.
Should we talk a bit about
No,
Man
I'm
United?
fantasizing about Miami.
Well, yeah, but we talked about
I'm going to
that.
wear
Beige chinos.
open-toed
We gotta
sandals.
walk around with this fella with beige chinos
I'm
on.
going to have the shirt open with my gut out as well.
Yeah.
You can do that in Miami.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a move.
Yeah, because they'll be like, wow, you've lost weight. Almost a six-pack. Compared to that.
Shall we just do a
Almost.
truce and just all of us move to America?
Go Miami. Close at David Beckham.
Get a green
close
screen?
at heaven.
Be all right, innit?
Yeah, that'll work. Perfect. Should we talk about Man United? Because I've got.
I am talking about Man United.
You're talking about Red Soccer Limited or whatever it's
I'm
called.
talking about pre-season for Manchester United.
Yeah, which is
well important.
Well, before pre-season, we've got something that I like to call.
Oh, can we
the
go see
season.
Jimmy Butler when we go to Miami?
Yeah, we'll go see Jimmy Butler.
Listen,
I
fuckface,
love Miami.
right?
Can
He's
we
still
go?
there.
I've been locked in my house for a fucking yeehaw, right? I haven't been abroad.
Yeah.
I want to go away.
You know, a lot of people, even without a pandemic, don't get to go to Miami whenever
Fuck
they
them
want to.
people. I want to go away.
Well, I've got
Well,
more,
we-
I've
we
got more
remember it's
sympathy
work.
for other people.
Yeah, I'm working, Joe. Thank you. That's what we were telling Janine.
Oh, yeah, we need you to
Working.
get a Cuban link gold chain as well
No problem.
for this holiday, all right? Expense it.
Oh, sweet.
You can have
Get
one of the
some
links.
sanitizer.
Bro,
Wash your hands.
me and him touch each other all day.
Yeah, it's illegal. Right, Man United then. Paul Pogba's injured for a few weeks.
Oh, he did it, didn't he?
He did do it.
No,
I did
you
do it.
did it,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Paul Pogba's injured for a few weeks. You were talking earlier, Adam,
Devastating.
and you spoke the last time they started together, which was the Southampton game, funny enough, how you're not the biggest fan of Fred and McTominay starting together. We are probably going to see more of that now that Paul Pogba's injured, because generally speaking,
What about though? Donny van de Beek.
I've never heard of him.
I don't think Solskjaer's heard of him either.
Donny Van...
I think Solskjaer goes, that fucking ball boy's here again. He's fucking welking. Look at him.
Who was it the other day? When,
All right, lad.
Was it when who got injured the other day?
Pogba.
Pogba.
Yeah, Pogba got injured, and I think Jay went. Ollie's just got to Donny. Hey, time match warm up. It's like you just. I feel sorry for him, but the reason why I don't like McTominay and Fred as much together, especially when it's not a diamond, is because the ball retention is awful.
Under Fred and
Awful.
with Fred and McTominay.
Do you know why? Well, it's not why, but it worked when we were a pure counter-attacking sort of side. Everyone was protected. It was only 6 months ago, you know. Like United had the best defence in Europe.
Well, the most clean sheets in Europe, second best goals conceded in England.
And now we've
Like,
got the
only
best
behind
attack in the
Liverpool.
Premier League and the worst defence in like the top 10.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
ridiculous.
mostly just been because we hold possession and we hold it higher up the pitch now.
Mm.
And that fundamental single change, which is barely discernible watching most games, you have to kind of look at like average positions and stuff afterwards. That one thing has made everyone go from fucking our defence is well good to fucking sell a lot of them.
Well, because what it does is it puts pressure in transitions defensively, doesn't it? Which Luke Shaw isn't very good at positionally. Wan-Bissaka, as good as he is one-on-one, his defensive position in transitions is not particularly good. He gets caught out at the back post a
We're
lot.
good when the game's in front of us.
Yeah, Lindelof and Maguire, neither of them are particularly quick. As we saw the other day, was it Calvert-Lewin and Maguire? That ball was played in behind. The ball got knocked across. De Gea palms
He
it
was
down.
running in treacle, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It's like, I saw someone go, why didn't he just intercept it? Like, because that's his top gear,
That's
lad.
what he's doing.
Relax.
He's trying as hard as he can.
He was doing this.
But that's the thing, though.
You know what's bad? I don't think we lose the points against Everton. It feels like a loss, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We don't lose against Sheffield United if Bailly starts.
Yeah, I agree.
It's that
Especially
fucking simple.
like because he would have been there with Decore. It wouldn't have been Shaw. It would have been it would have been Bailly and
I
Shaw.
said that about Shaw, and I thought Shaw should have tracked the core, but
No, but I'm
De
saying
Gea's
we
fault,
would have
that.
had an extra. No, it's De Gea's fault. I'm saying we would have had an extra man in the box.
Do you know the shot from? Yeah, I mean,
we wouldn't
here's-
have because Lindelof wouldn't have been in the box.
behind the goal. The behind the goal
In the
angle
right
of that.
place, I mean.
De Gea stretching to get an hand on it.
Yeah,
Maybe he should have left it.
maybe he should have left it. Or
But is that a communication then from
but
everybody
the
else?
thing is though, he doesn't. He stretches to get a hand on it and then gets a full hand on it and it plops straight down. If you get less of it, I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper, but you know as a goalkeeper, he said it before. You've seen coaches, you've seen people come out and talk. The whole point is you flick the ball away. You don't palm it into your own 6-yard box.
No, that's the no-no
number
zone.
one.
Yeah, like
So,
the gooch.
yeah.
No zone.
Exactly. Either go near post or back, like flick it wide or leave it. Don't palm it straight down into the 6-yard box. That is, it couldn't be more obvious and clear to anyone who's ever been a goalkeeper. So it is his fault. But yeah, you've got Bayern covering. We saw it. What game was it? Where
The third goal as well is a real, because he's got to come out and clear the whole fucking thing. Like, big, make yourself big.
And if it still goes in, fair enough.
Because if Calvert-Lewin, who was it the other day? They went through. I can't remember who made the save, but it was just like a little flick. It might have been against us. It might have been the keeper for Everton. And I remember just thinking, like, why hasn't he closed that gap down? Because he's made the goal bigger by standing on his line. Yeah. It's always the last thing for him to do is, maybe I should come off my line.
He does it.
And it's bizarre for a goalkeeper.
Play Henderson tomorrow?
Yeah.
That was going to happen regardless.
It's FA Cup, I know, but like...
Yeah. I think that one, the last goal is about...
It's an open door, innit, for Henderson?
Yeah.
Go and claim this spot because it ain't claimed at the moment.
No. And to be fair, he hasn't done that yet because De Gea has been better than him this year.
He's not much in it.
Not much, but
I don't think I wouldn't want to put a flag in any of them camps, to be honest.
But Dean Henderson hasn't played and you've gone...
Well, that's why he said it's a claimable position. It's a claimable position.
Yeah, but De Gea's not... Up until now... We've not thought, shit, De Gea needs dropping. In fact, a lot of people have gone,
but when
De Gea looks to be reacting well to Henderson.
But when Henderson's played, you ain't gone, he can't play.
Yeah.
Like,
the Liverpool game worried me, but...
I could go heads or tails.
I think that is very up to interpretation.
Harsh.
For me,
you think
I don't
harsh?
think he was... Certainly not at fault for the first goal. The Salah one where he dinks it over him. Like, you can't cover the whole goal. He's coming out to him. And then the second one, goalies get megged all the time. He's 6 yards out and he hits it first time.
The fact he's come out to him,
De
Gea wouldn't have come out to him.
No.
And Matt still got beat.
Yeah. I just
I might have been being harsh, but I
know what you mean.
Didn't feel convinced.
Yeah,
but I'm not convinced with De Gea either. Like I said, I'm kind of sitting in the middle, going.
And again, and as
I mentioned this to you on the preview.
Okay, go on.
Sorry, about the keepers. It's continuation of that. Was it on the preview? But basically, I was mentioning that
you and Jay maybe.
Me and Jay, yeah. We're probably going to come to a position where we need to think: do we need a new fucking goalkeeper? You know, if De Gea left at the end of the season, which all right, I doubt that will happen. But if it did. Ollie's gone, you're not my first choice anymore. And he's gone, all right, I'm going to go back to Atletico. We'd need a new first choice goalkeeper.
Do you think?
Like, because Dean Henderson, we couldn't go into the season with Dean Henderson as our number one, in my opinion, in a Champions League and Premier League and expect a challenge.
I think we could.
Not yet.
After his performance for Sheffield United, I mean, he's not replicated that in a United shirt, but on that basis of what he did as a full season at Sheffield United, I think you could.
I would be worried.
Which game was it as well? Was it the Everton game or the Southampton? He played one of the league games, didn't he? And looked really good, I thought. But he's not, like I said, he's not cemented it. But
you got to go and rob it.
I hate to go back to this because I know you're saying correctly so that De Gea was fouled against Sheffield United. He was fouled.
100%.
But if you have a goalkeeper that just
flies
fouled through everything.
Like you've been fouled.
Instead of allowing yourself to be nudged by Billy Sharp, you're jumping and flying through him and your hip slams off his head because he's
claim it with violence.
Flying through 3 players.
Steam through.
It doesn't matter whether you're fouled or not.
No apologies.
I know it is a bit.
Get all them cliches in, but it's true.
But it is a bit.
You've got to fucking help people. I used to go in goal sometimes, yeah. You know, like I played a decent level on Saturdays, and on Sundays when I'd play for the same team, sometimes I'd turn up and think, today I'm going in goal for a bit of fun because I was half decent in goal, especially at 5-side, and I thought I'm gonna have some fun. And I knew when I went in goal, I could get away with extra stuff. Elbows.
You don't see keepers getting done for fouls.
Also,
no.
Yeah.
When
was the last time?
Never.
Other than
jump for the ball with your knee in the air.
Other than
why aren't you doing these things?
A goalkeeper coming out to a player, them knocking it past him and tripping him with their arm. When is the last time you saw a goalkeeper give a penalty
try and
away?
murder Mane and not get fouled?
You don't see goalies give penalties
I can't
away
remember
unless it is a trip.
How did it go down that? Because didn't he come out and like boot him in the face? And I can't remember how it went down.
Yeah.
I know there was a big stink.
He got sent off. He got sent off.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I bet
He's
that was
outside the box
50-50 though.
He jumped through and he kicked him in his face.
Yeah. So that was probably the only time. That's the only way you get done as a goalkeeper.
Oh, it was Mane who booted Ederson. It was the other way around. And Mane got sent off. It was definitely a red card. I remember the tackle.
Oh, that was the 5-0, wasn't it?
It was 2 years ago, I think, wasn't it?
But like keepers get away with anything. Like if you're a goalkeeper, that is free reign to absolutely clean out anyone in your 6-yard.
You could think, I hate him, I'm going to punch him next one. And just pretending to go punch the ball.
Yeah, that happens. You see that all the time. Goal is just coming out like that, just taking people's chins off.
Yeah, and you get pure Rocky 4 moments.
Yeah. We've got a couple of super chats. Peter Kelly, De Gea doesn't come for crosses or come out of his 6-yard box or come out of his box to deal with loose balls like Neuer, Alisson and Henderson. There's a game, what was it, the other week where Henderson came flying out. Was it the Liverpool game? I think it might have been Liverpool in the FA Cup. And he's come flying out of his 18-yard box and just clears it out for a throw-in. And you think, I can't remember.
What you mean when Maguire had it covered?
Well, regardless.
I asked Rio about
that's
it. Does
his
he
temperament,
speak?
isn't it?
And Rio was like, nah.
Who, Dave?
Yeah. He went, he goes, as a caveat though, because we speak about it on today's pod, so he goes a bit more in depth on it than that. He goes, but he was young when I played in front of him. He goes, I hope he's evolved in 7 years, but I don't think he has.
But that whole defense seems like that, don't they?
Yeah.
Like this has been one of my. Remember, like the Spurs game was my real biggie. Like Maguire didn't seem to be leading, and if you look at that third goal, we're all talking about De Gea's part in it, but Maguire plays everybody on, and he's supposed to be the one that's saying. Right,
I think too much has been made of him playing everyone on.
This is
because
line.
the screenshot of that, I tried to watch it back.
I tried to do this as well. It doesn't have the kicker in, does it?
I think that's been over-egged, and I think that's quite a way after the ball's been played.
But I also think Calvert-Lewin's still onside anyway. But because Calvert-Lewin's
he's deeper of all of them.
Yeah, he's the deepest one. He makes the latest run. So the goal probably would have stood, but still, you as the... I never feel like he's organising around him.
Did you not see the thing that I screenshot? There's 4 United players with no Everton players in
Yeah,
between.
yeah, I've seen that.
People
That's
go,
annoying.
that's
It's
zonal
Cavani,
marking.
Rashford
I
and
know
all
what
that.
zonal marking is, but what the fuck is they doing? Because you're doing nothing here. And that's another thing I asked Rio about. I was like, what's the script here? And he said, the general layout of where we were as a team, he goes, it's kind of right. He goes, but who's our best header? Maguire. He goes, Maguire's got to go and get his head on it. He goes, even if he's like not marking someone, he goes, they used to do this with Vidic. He goes, Vidic wouldn't mark people. His job was get
Win
your
the
head
ball.
on it. Yeah. Whatever. I'll mark him. He's going to mark him. Scholes is taking him. You win the fucking header. You're free. And Rennie sort of alluded that as well, didn't he? When he didn't do it on the pod, actually. It was after the pod we fucking picked his brain a little bit on some stuff. But he said that you've got to go and win the header. Maguire looks like he's not winning the header. And I know it ended up being a near post flick on, which is maybe a bit of a smart play from, or a miss kick from Everton. But like, no one looked like they were winning any headers. Wan-Bissaka jumps about 3/4 of an hour too early. Shaw might as well not bother fucking jumping, just gets beaten. And then everybody, and why is Lindelof marking Calvert-Lewin, right? You look at that line and you go, you two, right? So the pair of you, who's the threat in the Everton lineup from a set piece?
Yeah,
I
Calvert-Lewin.
mean, he's one of the best headers in the Premier League.
Calvert-Lewin,
Yeah.
right? Who is someone that gets absolutely bullied by Calvert-Lewin?
By anyone, Lindelof.
Lindelof, right? Lindelof, you mark Calvert-Lewin. What the fuck? How anyone thought that was a fucking good idea?
Because I thought he made a mistake for the second goal. I thought Lindelof, either you have to clear that out, or you have to leave it for Maguire, who's got a better header
But this
behind
is the
you.
communication
Again.
issue that I don't think exists.
I know
If
you
go-
thought I was being harsh
I
there.
think
didn't
Go
you?
back and
harsh.
watch the first game in the league against them. It's Lindelof that gets done in the air by Calvert-Lewin that sets up the only goal that they scored in that game.
I agree with that.
Why isn't... I was about to ask a stupid question, but I was about to say, why isn't Maguire a leader, but it's dumb. But why do you feel Maguire can't lead that? Like, why is it that
I don't. Think
whenever
it's in him.
he's...
I think he needs to be led.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
And I
but
think
why
if he
can't
had
he do the
a
leading?
proper defender alongside him, I think, because here's the thing: when you look at all of the data around Maguire, he's been a very effective defender. I think he gets dragged into the channel to cover for Shaw, and people won't want to admit that, but it happens a hell of a lot. And he also gets dragged near post as well when it's coming down our right hand side. And I think that might either be a confidence in Lindelof thing or something. He just doesn't seem to. He kind of wants to do everything. But what I don't see him doing, and I did see Ruben Diaz doing this yesterday, is, and I thought, fucking Diaz is so fucking good, man. Like, Liverpool was attacking down Liverpool's right. So Diaz is left side centre half, right? And I saw him constantly changing, like, just checking his shoulder, and he would check. He wasn't just checking it for no reason. He would check, move 2 feet, and you could see him going, yeah. And then he'd look again and he'd go, oh. And he was just constantly making micro adjustments to what he was doing. And then it never came to him. He never had to make a tackle. But I could see him sort of talking to the fullback. And then as the threat was sort of dealt with by the fullback, he turned round, said something to John Stones, started doing a bit of pointing, and then the line moved up. And I was like, there's a fucking leader. There's a fucking leader.
Again,
You got to think Evans was that for Maguire, wasn't he? And that's...
It's no coincidence, though, that John Stones all of a sudden looks good next to him, because maybe John Stones is more along the Maguire. I think Maguire's a better defender than John Stones, but John Stones has got a lot of good talent.
John Stones, until about 18 matches ago, was the biggest fucking £50 million flop the Premier League has seen.
Yeah.
He was shit. But now alongside Diaz, I think he's like conceded like 3 goals or something in like 20 games. It's mental.
And if you look at the games where we've won tightly as well, like a Doiger, at home especially, Man United 1, Wolves 0, Man United 2, Villa 1. Bay started in those games. You look at the ones where we've conceded goals, Everton, all right, Southampton was against 10-9 men. Everton, Sheffield United. The 6-2 against Leeds, where we, conceded 2, could have conceded 3 or 4.
Eric Bailly's injured.
Eric Bailly doesn't play. But the point here is we need a new centre-back.
Yeah, well,
because Eric Bailly is our best centre-back, and when he's injured, we're fucked.
Do you know what the problem is, though?
All the time. Can we just get to the super chat quickly before it expires? From Aman Saxena. No, because I can't scroll
What's his name?
Infinitely. If Ole doesn't win the league this season, even by a point, do you think everyone will dismiss Ole's achievements and credit it to Corona season?
Yeah, they will, but they're wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course they will. People are kicking off.
Would you rather lose the league by 1 point or 10 points?
Doesn't matter.
See, these lot have this. I said 10 because having that 1 point makes you think you hold on against Everton and you do this and that. But then these lot said if it's 1 point, then we feel close, and next season that might make us.
That Liverpool did before season before last.
Ultimately, I don't care.
I'd rather lose.
Thanks for your contribution to this chat.
No problem. That's what makes
personally. You're talking there about getting a new centre back.
Yeah. Who?
It needs to be someone of the profile of Eric Bailly, doesn't it? Quick, decisive, maybe a bit more. I don't think he's necessarily a leader either, but I think he plays like a leader where he's so decisive.
He is, you know.
Well, you've
got
this in that mould.
But he doesn't have the communication.
He
doesn't
does.
seem to.
You see him all the time, 2 arms out, all the time.
Who've you got?
Talking.
Ramos. I think that'd be a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Not quick enough either.
No, I think what we need and why Eric Bailly's worked for us is because we are transitioning to be a team that holds possession high up the pitch, and that's why Lindelof and Maguire look fucked. Eric Bailly comes in, the pace he's got, deals with that. We look better. Not perfect, but better. Now you bring in Koulibaly. If you can get him for less than 100 million...
I don't really want him, you know.
The hype sort of sailed on him, but I still think he's elite. But he's also 30. Or 30 next month, I think. So, are we really going to spend crazy money on him?
That's the thing. If we finish a goal difference off Man City this season, maybe Koulibaly could be the difference.
But does Ole have the stones to go to the Glazers and demand that?
A short-term £70 million centre-back.
It's a lot of cash.
It is. It's basically win a trophy or fuck off at that point, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Ramos might be an excellent fix while you look at a younger, someone maybe more potential sort of centre half. I don't think
coming back and saying
you
just shadow him, that bastard there.
Rumoured.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% convinced on him. I like him, but
who's this? Sorry,
Upamecano.
Upamecano.
But then
I think the other fella's better. Konate.
Konate.
What do you reckon?
Again, yeah, but I don't know how you judge it in Germany.
Look what Rashid done to Upamecano, bro.
Yeah, but who was it who absolutely...
But look what Tuanzebe did to Mbappe, and look at him in the last 3 games.
And look what McGoldrick did to Tuanzebe.
But Ramos, I don't think he's got the legs to play a proper up and down game at the intensity that the Premier League is at 34. I think he's mint. And I think in terms of the leadership qualities that we need, yes.
Ramos
God, yes.
In the argument for greatest centre back of all time,
yeah.
isn't he?
And in terms of greatest captains,
make that argument.
Motherfucker scores about 10 goals a season as a centre half.
Scored I think 150 career goals, 125 career goals.
He's an absolute joke.
And he's won everything.
Yeah. And in terms of leadership and centre half, can you imagine playing alongside Ramos? He's going to punch you in the fucking mouth if you are in the wrong spot. Yes. And I think at times you need that. But I don't think he's got the legs. Much like what Thiago Silva I thought was going to bring to Chelsea, although the jury's out on that a little bit. I think wrong move at the wrong time. 3-4 years ago when we were proper honey dick.
We were linked with him under Van Gaal. Was it Van Gaal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we were never getting him.
No.
He would have come and he would have been in America now or something.
Probably, yeah.
Sergio.
That's what he should do. He should go to America.
Got forked.
Go into Miami so we can come and link you in the summer.
Yeah, do that.
A couple of super chats. One from Ian says, De Gea's starting position is what cost us. The ball gets flicked on from just outside the area and De Gea is more or less on his line. A few yards further up and he picks up the ball after DCL's touch.
Possible.
Yeah, he is very much I'll stay on my line and see what happens.
I prefer keepers that come and then think,
oh shit,
not commit fully, but just You know, you just hold this triangle button a little.
Yeah. Just tease it. 6-yard line.
I like goalkeepers to like bulldoze their way through 4 people.
And occasionally you're going to make a
Elbows and
mistake
knees
from
up.
doing that. And we saw Schmeichel used to make mistakes. Schmeichel cost us goals at times.
He did.
Remember Barnsley when he threw the ball in that fella's head?
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean like where you come flying through everything and you just don't get it.
But also,
over
he's
a
in your
season-
mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're a centre forward, you go, oh, and I'm just behind the. Oh my fucking god!
And if I'm a centre forward and the goal is here and the ball's coming like it was for Calvert-Lewin, I've got a man on my back. I know I can take a touch into this space because De Gea is not going to be there.
Yeah,
if that's
whereas
Neuer
Schmeichel's got his balls in your
you're
face,
like, this
teabagging
touch
you.
has to be perfect because I'm going to have Schmeichel's. Yeah.
Probably 16.5 stone, 4XL shirts
Exactly.
coming at me. 4XL!
And that puts pressure on the touch and that makes you take one more glance and all that sort of thing that can put you off. With De Gea, it's like, do what I want here because he's going to be on his line. Another super chat from Brazil.
And it feels sad. All this feels sad, by the way. Digging out De Gea.
I'm not saying he's
I know
a
you're
shit
not.
goalie.
I know you're not. It's just.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I like violence.
It's like my dad texted me the other day. What did he text
I'm not
me?
even talking
While
about
you're
football,
looking
just
for
like
that, I'll
violence.
read this. Okay, so I went a bit overboard with the 21 who's coming Super Chat versus Everton, but there are 45 points to play for and Euro Cups are starting now. There are possibilities, isn't there? Ole has managed the squad well.
City are too strong.
City
If
are
we're
too strong.
fucking real with
But
ourselves,
let's
City are
go
too
back to that, what he said about the European competitions. City's main aim this season remains winning the Champions League.
Cool. They've got 2 11s.
Yeah, they don't even play.
They
They've
went
literally got two
right.
strikers
Let me
on the
just
bench.
let me throw this around your fucking dome for
Go
us a
on then.
minute. They went to Anfield, missed a penalty, won 4-1, and didn't even take Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero. What fucking level of sniff do you need to be doing to think United could do that?
Abdullah Ibrahim as a super
We
chat.
always go to Anfield without De Bruyne and Aguero.
Yeah, you idiot.
Fair play.
What's it? Oh, what are you smoking, mate? Idiot. Grass. Abdullah Ibrahim with the super chat says, Axel has received many hate messages after the match. Is it?
Bro, fuck these. Stop fucking giving attention to these trolls,
Yeah,
man.
these trolls at this stage.
Deal with real racism.
We're not giving attention to this troll.
Ah!
We're giving attention to
But
a
we
comment
are,
about
we
it.
are,
No,
we
it's not,
are.
because
It's
we're not
stupid,
we're
man.
not-
It's dumb. This is why people do it. It's like these knobs on Twitter. Oh, Russell, fuck off. That's the only reason they're doing it is so Axel replies to them and then they go, oh, I didn't realise you'd reply. I love you. Or some other shit. Stop it. Deal with real racism,
Go on, read
man.
the comment out.
Fuck's sake. All the time.
He just says, isn't it mental that he receives this kind of abuse for committing a foul near the halfway line?
And some
Of
Wally
course
on the
it is.
weekend tweeted, I didn't even think he was that bad. That's not the fucking point.
Yeah.
It's not the point.
He wasn't bad enough to be racially abused.
It's
That's
not
He's like,
that is
I'm holding judgment whether I'm
Yeah.
going to racially abuse him or not.
Yeah.
Maybe not on that game, but we're watching.
yeah, I mean
God,
ridiculous.
deal with real racism. How about the FA? When you got fucking members of staff or captains of your country that are being racist, how about deal with them wankers?
Or
And
chairman.
then little cunts sat at home on their phones won't think they can get away with it because they'll see bellends like John Terry getting dealt with. Or how about fucking... why do MUTV fucking employ Ron Atkinson up until last year? Why did fucking Chelsea defend John Terry? Why did fucking Liverpool defend Suarez? But as soon as it's a fan or some dickhead on Twitter sends a monkey emoji to someone,
They actually are
it's
harder.
the end of the world.
They actually are
Fucking
harder
deal
on
with
fans than they are on players and stuff. Like, did you remember the guy from City who was saying, he did like the monkey sign, he was like, oh, stretching my arms or something like that, and you're like, fucking was you? And then someone like,
absolute dickhead.
they go straight through all their social media accounts and like, boom, he's EDL, he's fucking this, that, and the other, and they find them like that, and the punishment is swift. Like they get sacked, they get fucking dealt
Lifetime
with.
bans.
Yeah,
Like,
and then your captain does it, and they're
Yeah.
like, we stand by our
Oh yeah,
leader
we'll walk off
and,
on the 26th minute and clap him. Fuck off.
Amar Vidge with a super chat. He says De Gea is giving the centre backs no confidence. Karius FC, not quite to that extent, but that is kind of what we said about the defenders. Don't think he's coming, do they? They don't. They think,
don't think
I'm
he's
by
what?
myself here. I've got to deal with this.
They don't
There
think
ain't
he's
no
what?
goalkeeper behind me. Not in terms of shot stopping, obviously, but
Rio said he didn't like the Schmeichel thing. Obviously,
I
didn't
thought
play
he was going to drop a proper bomb.
No.
We all said he didn't like David De Gea.
He said he didn't like the Schmeichel level of like God, and he said Van der Sar would always talk, but it would be like encouraging and calm, and he goes, "That's what I needed."
you're looking great. Lovely shorts today.
The way the light hit your thigh, they're sexy.
Yeah, I
You're
think you
playing
could
like
see
this.
that because they were good communicators.
But also
real professional.
Not just scream. Like
then
Joe
that's-
Hart is
yeah.
vocal, but he's fucking shit. And he's like, a lot of that can take away from what you're doing, because you see Jordan Pickford sometimes being more bothered on
Screaming
at people than, mate, save the shot that's going to fly past you.
But also, Rio Ferdinand is one of the best centre-backs ever. So he doesn't necessarily need that quite as much. He can deal with his own shit.
He said he'd make his head go.
Context,
He said Schmeichel would have made his head go.
Yeah.
In that context, then, most of the players United sign will be of the top 5%, you'd hope. Top
But
10%.
not Rio Ferdinand.
I would hope.
No, but that's... So,
Yeah.
You're getting to a level where you shouldn't need to be told, hold your line. Fucking...
It should only be minor adjustments. Like, there was something Rio was talking about, and I was fascinated. And this wasn't... Because people talk about, oh, what are they doing on the training ground? Who's our defensive organiser? And, like, the amount of comments on his podcast is just like, will you come and fucking coach our defence? Jesus. But he said him and Edwin, just sitting there in the changing rooms, started talking about stuff. And he goes, I don't know if these conversations are happening in changing rooms at the moment. He goes, but I'd be on people. And he would say... He said he had this thing where... him and Van der Sar, he goes, if a player was coming into the box, he goes, I would show him 2 feet of the goal and go, shoot in that. He goes, but I've worded up Van der Sar and said, I'm going to show him. He goes, if you see me start to screen like this, he goes, I'm going to leave him 2 feet of the goal. You stand in that 2 feet, ready to save it. He goes, and if it comes through my legs, he goes, one, it ain't. He goes, but if it comes through my legs, he goes, that's on me. He goes, I'm not going to let him come back. I'm going to shoot there, mate. He goes, and then when he shoots there, you save it. And when you look at the result of what them two are like as a partnership, as a goalkeeper and centre half partnership, they were pretty fucking good. I mean, record-breakingly good.
Yeah. Was
and
it
you
13 clean sheets in a row?
It was unreal, wasn't it?
Ridiculous.
It was hours. And you go, yeah, literally hours. And you go, is David De Gea sitting Maguire down and saying, do this for me? Doesn't fucking look like it, does it?
It doesn't look like it. We've got a couple of super chats. Oliver Choque said, Pogba's injury is a blessing for Van der Beek. However, he needs a proper CDM that sits deep to get the best out of him. Perfect link with the front four. That's what you think is, not the blessing bit, but you think Van der Beek links the front four to the defence better than anyone else.
Is better than Fred's and better than McTominay's. That's why I feel you put him alongside one of them and you have a better two. I also think, yes, Fred is better maybe with interceptions and all that stuff, but there's something in just keeping the fucking ball sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to do less interceptions if you keep the ball. And I think Van der Beek, I'm not saying he will always play in a 6 because he can play 8 and 10, but he has that intelligence of a Carrick to just, all right, I'll nick there. Now that's
you don't need to be Kante. People have got, like, because Kante's been ultimately successful, everyone's gone. And and Thomas Partey is very, very good at what he does. People have gone, you need a fucking destroyer. United never had one.
No.
Like, when we was at our best, we didn't have a destroyer. We didn't have, like, a big physical number 6. You had Michael Carrick, who, let's be honest, looks a little bit like a fucking maths teacher, doesn't he? Right? He doesn't look, he's not scary.
When's the last time United had one? I mean,
Maths
I suppose
teacher.
you could say Roy
You know,
Keane
fella
kind
called
of was that, but he was much more than just that. But he wasn't, he did more with the ball than
To be fair,
Kante's expected
Owen
to do.
Hargreaves was a bit of that.
Right.
A bit of that. But he was more like Fred in terms he was a lot of energy about it. And
Yeah.
he's about 5'9".
And
Like,
the
he's
quality.
hardly fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Like, he's not intimidating physically. And I think Donny van der Beek, yeah, he looks like a 14-year-old fucking schoolboy. He's not going to physically intimidate you. But like Michael Carrick, he's an intelligent footballer. And I think he can take up those passing lanes, block you off there and that. I thought, the one time that we've seen him really excel when he started was Southampton. And under the press, under that fucking tricky midfield that he's coming up against, I thought he was sensationally good. I saw him taking it under pressure, under a press, rolling people, making intelligent passes. And I'm going, play this fucker. But he's not been seen since.
There's so many times where Fred or McTominay, and again, I'm not just digging them because I think they've done well this season at time, but, one of them, how many times you see McTominay is getting better with it, or Fred, they get the ball, they go to play a pass, intercepted on the halfway line, and we're back defending again, and it's like, Donny van der Beek does that less. Okay, occasionally he'll try and play a riskier pass and it'll get caught, cool. But he does that less, and I think there's a beauty in keeping the ball so you don't have to defend. We obviously both like him, we all like him, Donny van der Beek. Why do you think Ali hasn't played him as much or more? Like, why do you think when McTominay gets injured, Donny isn't the one that comes on?
The only reason I can give you completely falls apart when you say the word Bruno. When you look at Fabinho's introduction, at Liverpool took ages, and it worked. When you look at Fred's introduction,
Cater as well at Liverpool.
yeah, ages. Yeah. I think we are a team that wants to have high energy, high impact, high press, and I think there's probably way more. In fact, not I fucking know there's more, right? I've been chatting to some coaches this week. There's way more levels to Manchester United's system than anyone wants to fucking give credit. Like, they do the no fucking tactics, all vibes.
Yeah.
My ass. There's presentations on what the fucking state of our tactical outlook looks like. In possession, out possession, the different fucking thirds across the pitch and along the pitch, all the different squares of the pitch, your positioning, this and that and that. And I wonder if Tellez and Van der Beek are being slowly introduced to the team to get their pressing abilities up to this. But then you go, yeah, Bruno played his first fucking available game and has never been out of the team since. So that's a lot of bollocks. So the bottom line is, I don't know.
I think there's less room for mistakes when you're playing deep, though, isn't there? Is there?
Yeah, you can bring wingers and forwards in.
Yeah, and give them a go. If they don't score, you switch them out. If you bring a number 6 in and he's not up to the pace of the Premier League, or he just doesn't quite fit into a game, you've conceded 2 goals because of his mistakes.
Even Thiago.
Yeah.
He's been a very slow introduction.
But he's changed the way Liverpool play to the point where they don't score
But talking
anymore.
about Liverpool,
It's not just him, but
and I suppose
No, it is just
order
him.
to
It's not a
ease some of
negative
the
on
worries.
him. He's playing, like, this is what the point I was making last week. I look at Pogba and I go, Pogba's playing individually well. Like, I'm looking at his game. He's making good decisions. He's moving the ball forward quite quickly. But I wonder, is he having a negative impact on the game because when he's not there, we kind of just get it into Bruno in the final third a bit quicker. And I know for a fact that's what Liverpool are doing now. So Liverpool used to hold possession in their back line. Gomez, Van Dijk, into the fullbacks. And they would, like, 100 fucking passes across this bore the piss out of you. And then Van Dijk, when he sees the right time, he bangs one into a channel. They win the second ball. They play it back to Alexander-Arnold. He whips it over to Robertson on the far side, completely switching it, moves it to defence over, passes it in for Mane, and they score. That is a Liverpool goal. Now they're holding it with Henderson, who hasn't got the passing range of Van Dijk, or with Fabinho, who hasn't got that sort of passing range. And they're just kind of finding Trent because that's what we used to do. We used to win the ball here and pass Trent. And Trent's just trying to fucking spam crosses in, but the setup's not been the same. So the result's not the same. And then they're going into midfield and they're saying, Thiago, here's what we do. We get the ball out to the right to Trent, and then he just fucking spams crosses in. So he's going, okay. But he wants to be on the ball a lot. At Bayern Munich, he'd been making 125 passes a game. Now, this is a Liverpool team that went Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, just fucking move it up the pitch, lads. And they're going, all right. Whereas for Thiago, he's a fucking sensational technical footballer, would look amazing at United or City.
yeah,
Doesn't
City,
work.
you can imagine,
Doesn't
especially.
fucking work for this team. Yeah,
No.
it would. City would be
he'd
perfect.
be our 6.
You would.
Yeah.
This is what United
him
need
next
to do.
Because he's got a little bit of tenacity about him that you don't really see unless you watch him every week.
Yeah.
You know that he nobbles a lot of players.
But he
Fucking
slows down the
bastard
way
he
they
is.
play.
We're talking
doesn't he?
about that and Liverpool.
We've got a few super
Donny
chats as
started
well,
against
just to get into.
Liverpool. And I suppose, I know it's a cup game, but I suppose you don't start against Liverpool unless he trusts you, right? Or unless he believes in you.
Yeah, any game against Liverpool, you're not playing if the manager thinks you're shit. No matter what tournament's in. Even, I mean, other than pre-season, you're not getting played if you don't like it.
But yeah, I think Thiago's fundamentally changed that makeup of Liverpool. And
also the fact that their injuries have meant that those players like Fabinho and Henderson, and I think Wijnaldum is injured, isn't he? Or he was out.
By the way, go
certainly.
to the super chats, but also Shola Shalatire has signed a professional contract at Manchester United.
Good partnership.
not getting anyone from Bayern Munich. You know, maybe it's
Alaba at centre half.
maybe it's the alleged drugs.
He's played centre half a
Maybe
lot for
it's the
Bayern
what?
Munich.
I
But
don't know.
I wouldn't buy him as a centre half.
Why? We won't be buying him.
Isn't
He's
he-
on a free.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
What, left back, centre mid? Well, he could maybe do that role of not destroyer, but just great positioning and doing the
that's
stuff in the
not-
middle. You wouldn't want Alaba in any position.
I'd take him in a squad, but let's not.
Why not?
Because
you
you
don't get anyone
just
out of Bayern
suggested
Munich,
us,
mate. You don't get anyone out of Bayern Munich.
apart from
that they
Owen
don't wanna get
Hargreaves.
rid of.
You lot just suggested us putting him at centre back.
Yeah, and he was busted. Got one season out of him. Owen Hargreaves.
Yeah, but I don't want him at centre back.
No, I'm saying you don't get anyone out of Bayern Munich that they don't want to get rid of.
Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, he was fucking done, mate. Let's have him for 6
Remember the
mil.
overhead kick he scored
I
against
loved it.
Ipswich?
I loved it.
Amarvid with another super chat. He says, I don't think it's just his presence. I think it's his IQ too. 1 minute left in the game, and he kicks the ball down the middle of the pitch, hit the corners. That's something I haven't seen spoken about enough. That free kick that Cavani won, 35 yards
We're
out.
in possession.
We cheered like we'd won that game, which is another reason why it hurt so fucking much when we didn't. We had a free kick. 90. Everyone's seen the
94
screenshot.
of 94
minutes, 5 seconds gone. De Gea's taking a free kick.
Do you know what I might do?
Why didn't he?
Do you know what I
just
might do?
Aim for the corner flag.
No, because that can come back very fast. Do you know what I might have done? What I might have told my lads to do? Pass it to the centre half and then pass it back. And then pass it back. And then when they press you, then you go into the corner. But you've wasted another 10 seconds.
Yeah. And the whistle will go. As soon as you hoof it, like you have a few passes and you hoof it, the whistle's gone.
Probably does, yeah.
Because that... Bruv, we're not supposed
you
to talk
twat it, and
then
you twat it, and then there's no ball boys.
Don't
you do that thing where you just walk around for ages trying to. We had a fucking fat goalkeeper trying to dig up a 4G pitch to waste time, and I honestly was losing my shit with him.
Clicking his heels against the post, like what's the name from?
I think he missed that home, didn't he? Muzzy, is it?
Well, there's a couple he
missed that,
and he saved one as well.
Yeah.
I saw a little montage that the other week. My amateur in the super chat said, to add to Steve's point, Bruno was a necessity and a clear upgrade to Pereira, which let's not forget, was the person who was playing at number 10 before Bruno arrived. Donny van der Beek.
They're like that, mate.
Donny van der Beek is an upgrade, but he has clear competition in those positions.
It also might have been signed because we expect Pogba to go.
And in that situation, seniority wins potentially. Certainly in terms of bringing players in, sometimes it's hard to just go, right, Matic, you gone, Fred, whatever. Like it's going to take a while.
Dutch boy.
Yeah, exactly. And another super chat. Waltzing Matilda. Liverpool have done European Cup and Premier League back-to-back. City look like 3 titles in 4 seasons. Do you think United are able to break those teams' dominance in the next couple of seasons?
I do, because I think Liverpool are coming to the end of their cycle.
Also, let's,
I think we win the league.
City have won.
You thought you were winning the league this year, you fucking lunatic.
City have looked like winning 3 and 4, but they've also been the team to beat for 10 years now, if we're honest.
They are,
Yeah.
So,
but you know what's mental? They've if you look at who's won the league, I think they've won the last 4 out of 5. Is it? 3 out of 4?
No, it will be 3 out of 4 if they win it this year.
So they win it this year, but I think only once they've won it by more than like 2 points, 3 points. One was goal difference, one was 1 point, one was so.
Guess what? Do you think they care?
No, I know.
I wouldn't give up. I'd be like, yeah, we won this one.
Whilst it looks like,
this on a toss of a coin. Come on, lads.
Whilst it looked like they might as well be Celtic. It's you look at it and it's the seasons haven't been that way. Do you know what I mean? Like,
apart from the one when we won it by 19 points to a shit United team. Don't let me fucking.
That's the only one.
That's the example I use as to why I would rather United finished second on goal difference than well clear of first, because that wasn't a springboard to build on. Was
I'm ready to be hurt again, Joe.
I'm ready to be hurt again, because if you hurt, it means you had expectation. We haven't
last game of the season.
For 7
last game
years.
of the season, it's either at home and I'm there and I don't remember it because I was twatted, or it's in here and we have a fucking good laugh for 89 minutes and then it's crippling depression.
I would proper cry real.
Crippling depression for a couple of years, and I'll take that.
Who's our Van Persie in the summer then?
Who's our Van Persie in the summer?
Zlatan back.
No, I think
Haaland.
Let's be honest. What we really need, probably a centre back, a defensive midfielder, and a right winger. If we get those 3 positions in the summer,
a centre forward.
And no, because Cavani's got another year in him. I think we will need him after.
I didn't even get a bite.
No, I'm not biting anymore because he's shit.
We don't need a striker this summer.
I think Haaland goes to Real. You know,
they got no bueno, mate.
Real have got peas.
I don't know if they have.
They've been more shrewd than Barcelona.
25 million.
They have been more shrewd than Barcelona, though.
Yeah. Do you
remember
that guy? Right,
they got money, bro.
Tony Carroll, right? The guy that built a fucking destruction derby in his backyard.
Yeah.
He was more shrewd than Barcelona.
Was that guy?
Enron.
He won about 3.4 mil and spent 22 mil.
And then he was bankrupt like a week.
You just can't use. You can't use Enron jokes for these two, honestly.
I would rather, like, if I knew anyone that was a lottery winner and they didn't do that, I'd be so disappointed, right? Do you know those people? Like, there was one, and I was like, they won 119 million on the Euro Millions, right? What do you do?
I buy
overdose.
Everything.
Yeah. What do you do? Overdose?
Smack.
Okay. What they did was move to over the road from the McDonald's where they worked, so they didn't have as much of a commute.
I would have bought McDonald's, bro.
That's so lovely.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Because they go, they like their job at McDonald's.
You still have to work, though. You still have to keep working. I wouldn't be able to quit working.
You would work, but it wouldn't be at McDonald's.
No, it'd be like events.
And
you just like, but it
just turn up and get smashed.
Oh, hi, there's some champagne and let's talk about ventures.
Have sexual assault fucking charges levelled against you because you was a little inappropriate with some people.
That one.
Don't worry about that. So, anyway, I ain't fucking finished.
Okay.
Joseph.
Get to it.
So, like...
That was the words of Stephen Howson.
But not only that,
NBA.
people are like, oh, isn't it good that they kept their job? Someone else could have had that job. You didn't need that job. That's what annoyed me.
There you go. That's a good point.
You've just kept a job and you don't need a job.
They took our job.
So how does that relate to the player that Man United need to sign this summer?
I'm trying to derail it, Joe. You're not doing a very good job of
Who's
fucking
Van Persie
helping
in
me.
the summer, bro?
Yeah.
Haaland.
Yeah, but we're not getting him.
Don't
You
piss
think
on my chips.
You might
You
get him
think we
next
fuck with
summer.
Mino again?
Yeah, I think we would, yeah.
Just
I
no
think we're
choice,
ready to be
we
hurt
kinda
again.
have to.
Right, should we call it a day there?
That should be the title of this.
What?
Ready to be
Ready
hurt
to be
again.
hurt
Ready
again.
to be hurt again.
That's
Well,
the title
I
of
think
my
we'll
next
make it
Lee's
hurt.
album coming soon.
Peter Kelly said Liverpool's best decade in the Premier League era is one Premier League. Our worst is one. So
Right,
far.
you Would you have
That's
done-
a great way to end.
You tweeted
So
That's a great
I'd
way
have
to
said,
end.
I'll find a tweet actually because I'll never get it bang on again. But it was
I
words,
like that. I like this tweet.
We'll finish it off
Words
with
to the
Steve's,
effect.
with Steve's tweet.
Earth.
At Mr. Stephen Howson, I'll do his PR for it.
Let me find it.
I mean, he's
It
still
was good.
scrolling down. And
If
this
you'd
was
have told
tweeted
me-
yesterday, so
If you'd have told me that I'd have to see Liverpool win a title, but the caveat was that they'd need to change all sorts of rules, no fans would be there to see it, and by the time we're allowed back in to gather in large groups again, they wouldn't be able to have a parade, I'd have taken it.
yeah, and I think we would have taken it.
Congratulations.
You would though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Because when you look back at that, you go, that's pretty fucking
Yeah, if
funny,
someone
like.
went, listen, Liverpool have to win the league.
And you're like, no,
But
like,
it's
wait,
gonna be-
hear me out,
it's
hear me
gonna
out,
be this year.
hear me out.
Their fans don't get to see it.
They'll only win one.
I'd be like,
Here's a
Oh,
question.
God.
They're going to
on,
get
man.
told they're the greatest team ever, and they're going to be like fucking 50 points worse off. United are going to finish 5 points above them. You'd be like, fucking eject it.
Here's the
slag.
question: do you think will they still do a
Sounds
parade
like-
Yes.
even after
They
City
took
have won the league this year?
photos
We're going.
with trophies they'd already been knocked out of.
City fans need to turn up to that parade.
Well, I
all
tweeted,
three of them.
someone said, like, oh, they'll still have a parade. And I was like, I might go. And someone was like, you're going to die. And I was like, yeah, but you assume I want to live. So,
Abdullah Ibrahim with the super chat before we go says, "Have you guys stopped doing Wally of the Week?" No, we have not. Let's go and do our
Wally of the week, David De Gea.
David De Gea. I'm going to say Mike Dean, who got about 45 chances to look at that Souček red card, still gave a red, then got upset when people were mad.
Oh
at him.
God, yeah, you're right.
and
I
they've
don't-
rescinded it as well.
Yeah,
So
they've rescinded it by the way because he
I-
went later. He went,
I don't think we
Oh,
can.
red card.
We can give Wally of the week to a United player.
Yeah.
So we can to Woodward and that.
but it's
So,
been
yeah,
over.
you're right.
It's since
So,
rescinded and over time.
apparently-
he,
oh,
he
do you know
was
what?
getting deference, which is unacceptable. to
But
be
if
fair.
they were from
See, I was going to
Souček,
make a
it
joke
makes
about
sense.
that.
sorry.
If they were from Souček, it's okay.
So here is my obvious joke to make about that. Is that all we had to do to get him off our games?
Well done, Steve. That's a beautiful joke to play us
Why
out.
didn't you post your letter sooner?
Yeah. Thank you very
Jeez.
much to everyone at home for joining us. Thank
gotta
you,
buy stamps,
Thank
and
you,
that means
Steve,
going out and
for
fucking interacting
Steve's
with
big
people.
joke at the end there. That was really good. Cheers, Adam, for joining
And the
us.
other not so big joke in the middle that
Not
we wish
such
you never
big
said.
jokes that you shouldn't have said. Yeah, thank you very much to everyone at home for joining us.
We
Man
are going
United,
Miami
Hang
in the
on,
summer.
Man United,
Who was joking?
Man United play
That bit
again
You definitely were joking about.
All right,
Steve.
okay.
tomorrow.
What?
Man United play again tomorrow.
Listen.
How has that happened?
Shut up.
We've got the preview coming out tomorrow morning.
We've still got Miami to plan.
for Manchester United
So
against.
I'm not coming in tomorrow,
West
but I
Ham.
will come in with a fully formulated plan for how Miami's
If you
going to
want
go
a bar
down
in,
to the hour,
Give us a shout. We want to do.
or an absolute baller apartment on the docks.
Yeah, give us a shout. Or if you're David Beckham, give me a shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers, David. Right,
Follow me back and return that post.
see you in a bit.